Hey guys, this is RDTechy, and I just want to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Sunday as always and tell you about this episode of Techy Tips, where I'm going to give you some tips when it comes to scripting for your videos. This video was actually requested on last week's episode of Techy Tips by a viewer, and I thought I would just jump right into it, not waste any time, and give you what I thought were some very valuable tips when you're scripting your own videos. Now, first things first, I don't use scripted videos very often. The only time I do actually script my videos to the line, to the sentence, to the exact word that needs to be said is only when I'm doing the under 5-minute video. And I do that because it gives me an accurate way of knowing how long the video is going to be, so I can trim down what's unnecessary and add some things if I want to make the video longer. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't be scripting your videos to some extent. When I'm playing a Let's Play, I kind of like to look up some interesting trivia if that's possible. See if I've covered a game from the same developer or publisher in my previous videos. I look that up. But scripting to some extent is always a good idea. When you're covering a video like Techy Tips, I kind of have bullet points I go through. So these bullet points kind of help me keep me on track, because or else I'll just keep blabbering about one thing or the other and it just never leads to anything important. So when you go scripting, you don't always have to go scripting in the proper sense where you have your dialogue written down and you're just reading it out. The idea is that you have a path you can take to get to your point, which is very important when you're covering videos that may have a varied interest. For example, when I did the YouTube video where the demonetization, I didn't have a script per se, but I did write down things that I needed to get across in the video. It helped me make sure I didn't forget to say something, to mention something that was important. It also made sure that I knew what came next. So there wasn't any issue when it comes to figuring out what I should say next. But when it comes to writing down your lines, please make sure that your lines aren't too long. Your sentences should be short, succinct, and should be able to convey what you need to convey without really stretching it out for no apparent reason. It will not only help you keep the attention of the viewer, because longer sentences mean longer attention spans, and adults especially aren't really prone to having that long attention spans when it comes to taking in information. It will also provide you with a video that feels very quick, rapid, and gets your point across really easily. The next key when you're scripting is to make sure your enthusiasm that you start with the video carries through all the way to the end. It's easy when you're doing a Let's Play and you're just winging it off the bat and you don't really have to plan too much. But when you're doing a scripted video and you mess up a line for like the 10th time, it is okay to feel frustrated, annoyed, but it should be very important that you should not show that sort of frustration or demotivation or just annoyance and just tiredness in the recording, because when you do the recording, it should actually flow like you did it in one take. So when you're doing a scripted video and you mess up and you have to retake a certain part of the video over and over again, make sure you carry that excitement. And make sure your excitement from the previous section carries through to the end so that there's a nice arc to it. The key to a good scripted video or good script in general is that it needs a good story arc. So it needs a good introduction, it needs to have carry through and a conclusion. So when you're writing up your script, have that in the back of your mind, which will really help you when it comes to deciding which is important, which information goes. Especially in case of a review, I kind of tend to keep the character analyzation, character descriptions, character impressions towards the middle of the pack, and then have my conclusion being whether it's worth your time or not. It's easier to do in a 5-minute video because you have a very short arc, but when it comes to a longer video, it's something that'll take a little bit more work, but it should be done because it's very important to follow an arc in all of your videos. But the most important thing is, if you're writing down lines for yourself, you can't make it so that you're just reading out information. People can detect that when they're seeing a video where the person is simply reading what they've written on screen. This will help you not only pace your video and pace yourself throughout the video, but will make your video and the idea you're getting across a lot clearer. When you're doing semi-scripted videos, the important thing, like I said before, is to remember the arc. Remember what you want to get across, get it down in bullet points, and simply go through them. You don't have to use the exact same lines every time, and post-production really helps out when you're editing. You can merge up different takes and get the desired result. So it's important what you're saying has a specific order, so that way you can edit and you can still keep the order of the video and keep that flow even though you're using different takes. These are the things that I think of when I'm scripting a video. Let me know if they helped you, and let me know if there's something in particular you need help with in the comments below. This is gonna be it for this episode of Techy Tips. While short, it's an important part of being a YouTuber and stretching your wings and spreading them out a little bit, because if you start doing scripted videos, it opens up avenues for you to do on YouTube. You could do tutorials, you could do movie reviews, game reviews, and you can have vlogs. Vlogs do need a script. They do not follow it line by line, but they will have a trajectory, a link, a sort of a flow to it, and that's the arc that I mentioned. So just having bullet points is a great way to have your arc. If you have something happening in your day that you want to share, have an order to it. If you have a flow to it, the viewer is a lot more engaged and you can share that story a lot more effectively. But like I said, that's it for this video. If you have something you need help with in particular, like I said, let me know in the comments and I'll help you through it. And if it's something I can't help you with, I will point you in the direction of someone that can. If you liked this video and found it helpful, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit dislike. Put the thumbs down. And if you want to watch more techie tips, gaming videos, first impressions, let's plays, and all that, hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned to the content coming on my channel. This is RDTechy. Have an awesome Sunday ahead. I'll see you guys on Tuesday with a first impressions of a really cool new game. Till then, see you later.